morning. That's my Hawks. Welcome, students, staff, and our honored guests to our memorial observance. We are gathered today to remember our fallen heroes and their service, sacrifice, and the true gift of freedom we cherish today. I ask retired Lieutenant Colonel Stedman to the podium for the recognition of one of our faculty members. Colonel Stedman.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to ask you how we're doing. I want to hear a louder response than you gave to Mrs. Denola. How y'all doing this morning? Well done, well done. All right, as she mentioned, I'm retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Howie Stedman. I'm the head of the Pinkerton Junior ROTC program. I know some of you are coming into our program. Who's coming into our program next year? Who's already signed up? All right, a bunch of you out there. If you go ahead and talk one of your 8th grade classmates into joining us also, have them talk to Mr. Mayu, we'll go ahead and give you a free set of BDUs, the camouflage uniform, if you go ahead and do that. Okay, I'll make you a deal. Come see me next year. All right? Okay, I'm here to go ahead and make some presentations on behalf of our Hampstead Veterans of Foreign Wars, or VFW. We have 3 that I'm going to recognize today. Mrs. Denola, I think, knew about one of them, but I have a couple others that I want to go ahead and recognize. Before I do that, shortly, we'll be having our color guard. I have 4 members of our Pinkerton Junior ROTC color guard. They're all seniors, and they all graduated from Hampstead Middle School here years ago. So we brought them back for the last time coming back into Hampstead before they graduate. So want to recognize them and the other people from the VFW. Again, I love coming back here. I had 5 kids all graduate from Hampstead. I still live in Hampstead and stuff. And it's great for me to come back and remember the old days sitting in those bleachers for lots of games and graduations and things like that. So it's always great to come back. Okay, the first presentation I'd like to make, he was recognized during our Veterans Day observance here in the middle school and given some awards from the VFW. And there was one other award from our state department that wasn't awarded, it wasn't ready at that time. So I want to go ahead and call up at this time the VFW Teacher of the Year in the middle school category, Kevin Fisher. He asked, he said, I don't have to talk this time, do I? I said, not this time. You got out of it for this one, Kevin. Thank you. Okay, we also have 2 students, 2 8th graders, who entered our Patriotic Pen essay writing contest, and a couple of them were runner-up winners at the district level in New Hampshire. So at this time, I'd like to call up the 2 of them, Sophia Martinez and Anthony LeBlanc. Like Sophie's, she's that way in the top. There's Anthony, okay. We'll wait till Sophie gets down there. Okay, they did a great job on the essays. They competed with lots of other cadets, students around New Hampshire, and they did an awesome job with that, and I'm sure next year when they want to Pinkerton, keep up your essay writing skills, and you'll be rewarded there also. So Sophie, congratulations. Okay, thank you very much. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Tyler LeBlanc, who will lead us in the next part of the program.
please rise for the posting of the colors in the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for the national anthem performed by Hampstead Middle School's Jazz Choir under the direction of Mr. Fisher.
Color guard, halt. Right, base. Post. Post. Present. Arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare amongst bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Next, Jenna Gordon will be speaking about the meaning and history of Memorial Day.
The importance of Memorial Day has grown with the age of our nation as we honor all the servicemen and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice. The day was designated to honor soldiers who sacrificed their lives protecting our country. Memorial Day was first introduced during the Civil War as Decoration Day. The day served as a moment to decorate the graves of fallen soldiers with flowers as a symbol of our gratitude and ultimate thanks towards their bravery. In 1873, New York was the first state to officially recognize this day as a holiday. Now, 146 years later, Memorial Day is celebrated by all Americans as a federal holiday. Memorial Day continues to stand as a day of remembrance for the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice from the Civil War onwards. Riley Kuchar will now speak about traditions associated with honoring fallen soldiers.
Many individuals have paid their respects to fallen soldiers through art and literature. The poem In Flanders Fields, written by John McCrae during World War I, has become one of the most famous remembrance poems for nations honoring their fallen soldiers. The poem is read in the point of view of the dead buried in Flanders region of Belgium. The poem references red poppies that go all over the graves of the soldiers. The red poppy has become a universal symbol of remembrance for fallen soldiers from all nations. Jackson Collins is going to perform the poem In Flanders Fields.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row. that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. That torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Robbins and the grade 7 and 8 band who will perform America the Beautiful.
Today we gather together as a community of learners and as Americans to honor our country's fallen heroes. We are so fortunate to live in this, the greatest nation of the world. Time and time again, brave men and women have been willing to fight for our freedom with the ultimate sacrifice of their own lives. The men and women we honor this Memorial Day are those who have served this nation from its founding hundreds of years ago, as well as those who defend us now. Never forget the courageous men and women who have served and sacrificed so much in past wars so we can continue to enjoy our freedoms of speech, liberty, happiness, and education. Today, my husband, Mark Danola, will share with you the story of his father's life. This is his story to tell. As his wife, I have witnessed his dedication to keeping his father's memory alive. Each April, Mark's mother, brothers, sisters, children, and I attend a memorial service at the Portsmouth Naval Base to join with families of the other men that went down with the sub. These men were so loved. Our service today, along with annual ceremonies held across our country, help bring our fallen heroes' memories alive, like Mark's father, back to life, if only for a few hours. Now it is my honor to introduce my husband, Mark Danola.
Good morning, Hampstead Middle School. Good morning. Students, teachers, administrators, ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you on this Memorial Day to share the uniquely American story of my father, Lieutenant Commander Michael John Danola. Mike, as he was known, was a character with a spirit, joy, and zest for life that made a difference in the world. The passage of 56 years has dimmed our collective memories and blurred our recollection of the valiant men of Thresher. However, I trust my deep dive into the Denola family archives will reveal just how alive and vibrant a man Mike was in life. Like the loss of the Thresher, photos used in this presentation are moments frozen in time. They have the power to move us, whether it's to laugh or cry. The past is what made us who we are, and is always going to be part of us. These photographs of these precious little moments in time are basically all we have left of what used to be. The USS Thresher sank during a deep sea diving test about 220 miles off of Boston, east of Boston, killing all the crew and the shipyard personnel aboard in the deadliest submarine disaster ever. It was the height of the Cold War, occurring just 6 months after the Cuban Missile Crisis, a precarious time for all humanity. The Vietnam War was heating up. No one knew if it would turn into a new world war. The Thresher was created to find and destroy Russian submarines. The Thresher was the fastest, quietest submarine of its day. Thresher was also the most advanced weapon system, with sonar that could detect vessels at an unprecedented range and launch the newest anti-sub missiles. The USS Thresher was forged and honed. The very, very pointy tip of the spear that submarines wield. There was no doubt that these men knew that they were at war. The legacy of the Thresher changed the outcome of the Cold War. These men were husbands, fathers, sons, brothers, colleagues, friends, neighbors, sailors, civilian shipbuilders, and engineers. My father, Michael John Denola, was one of the brave and selfless men. Through his duty, bravery, service, and sacrifice, gave his last full measure of devotion to our country. The loss of the Thresher was painful for the families, friends, colleagues, and the nation, similar to the loss of the Challenger Space Shuttle in 1986. Mike has a gravestone placed in Arlington National Cemetery in his honor. A national memorial stone for all who perished on the Thresher will be dedicated this fall in Washington, D.C. Mike's story begins with his father, Nicola Arturo Denola, who was born on December 4th, 1894, and raised, as he would say, alla Napoli, near Naples. Nick fought in the First World War for the Italian army. He was taken prisoner on October 24th, 1917, in the Battle of Caporetto, the worst defeat suffered by the Italian army in World War I. He survived a brutal concentration camp imprisonment at the hands of the Austria-Hungary forces, where 100,000 men of the 600,000 Italian prisoners died in captivity. After the war, Nick made his first trip to America, arriving on Ellis Island in New York City to work as a tailor in 1919. He returned to Italy, married Giovanna Laurentano, and returned to America with his bride in 1928. Started a family in a 5-story walk-up apartment building at 325 West 25th Street in Manhattan, New York City, where he was employed as a tailor. Nick was awarded the Italian Medal and Cross for military honor, for military valor, for his bravery during the victory of the Battle of Vittorio Veneto, which marked the end of World War I for the Italians. In 1968, on the 50th anniversary of that battle, Nick was awarded the Military Order of Vittorio Veneto, which is an order of Italian knighthood, and a small pension. Although he became an American citizen, living, working as a tailor, raising a family of 3 in New York City for over 50 years, Nick never bothered to learn the English language. Mike was the firstborn, son of Italian immigrants, on October 12, 1929. He is pictured here with his proud parents, with his younger brother Lenny in his mother's arms. The Denola family was becoming American. Nick and Giovanna instilled in their children that with hard work and perseverance, that they too could live the American dream. Mike is pictured here as first communion and confirmation with his childhood friend, Mario, and fellow first-generation American, Italian-American, Mario Sonny D'Aiuto. Sonny went on to create the Baby Watson's Cheesecake franchise and brand. Mike grew up and attended St. Columbia Grammar School in Manhattan, where he was awarded the Mathematics Medal upon graduation in 1943. Mike's spirit is evident in these pictures of him, hamming it up at the pool. Mike's aptitude for math led him to one of the 3 specialized high schools operated by the New York City Department of Education. Brooklyn Technical High School specializes in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and is considered one of the most prestigious and selective high schools in America. This is Mike's yearbook picture when he graduated in 1947. His bio notes include that he was enrolled in the architectural course, played intramural basketball, ran on the track team, and graduated on the math and college honor rolls. In addition to his drafting assignments, he was skilled in still life drawing. After high school, he attended evening classes at New York University, where he studied accounting. He became affiliated with the Naval Reserve Submarine Program, located at the Brooklyn Navy Yard at the time. Mike was a quartermaster seaman when he competed in the examination that won him the appointment to the Naval Academy. The Denola family achieved the perfect Italian-American immigrant trifecta. Firstborn son Mike became a naval officer. His younger brother Leonard became a Catholic priest. And the youngest sister, Marie, was a nurse. Mike met his future wife, Edna Gertrude Zimmerman, on a blind date. Edna was taking graduate courses at New York University at the time. A nursing friend who was dating a midshipman returned with Mike to New York on leave. The hockey game they attended was not romantic, but love ensued despite the less than idyllic choice of venue. Mike entered the Naval Academy in June 1949 and graduated with the class of 1953. Here you can see Mike getting a little assistance from his mother and Edna. Mike was a man of character, having graduated third in his class at the Naval Academy. Mike also was a character, having succeeded in graduating from the Naval Academy despite accumulating more demerits than any other midshipman in his class. Edna and Mike were married on November 28, 1953. Ensign Donola's first sea duty was the attack cargo ship USS Capricornus, aka 57. Michael Jr. Arrived in Virginia on February 24th, 1954, weighing 5 pounds 9 ounces at 3:55 a.m. Proud father Mike and Mike Jr. are pictured here at the dinner table. In June 1954, Mike entered the submarine school for instruction in New London, Connecticut, graduating as lieutenant junior grade. He was assigned to the USS Tyru, SS-416, in December 1954. Mike qualified in submarines in February 1956 aboard the USS Tyru. Mike served as the electronics officer aboard the Tyru. The picture on the left was taken off Oahu, Hawaii, where I was born. The picture on the right was taken in Pago Pago Harbor in Samoa. I arrived in Honolulu, Hawaii on August 22nd, 1956 at 7 pounds 8 ounces, 3:10 in the morning. That's me and my first birthday cake in the upper right. Mike and his boys are pictured playing little horsey in the backyard at the bottom right. In September 1956, Mike was transferred to the USS Starlet, SS-392. Mike received this certificate from the commander of Task Group 7.3 for his participation in Operation Hardtack, a series of atomic weapon tests. The USS Starlet was deployed as a submerged target submarine 3 nautical miles from the surface zero of the Wahoo Shot, a 9 kiloton nuclear bomb blast set off 500 feet below the surface of the ocean. Mike served in that command until May 1959 when he was selected to attend the nuclear power school in New London, Connecticut. He's pictured here on the left at a party on the USS Matsonia while returning with his young family to the mainland. From his tour in Hawaii, the photo at the bottom right is the young Donola family attending a formal dinner aboard the USS Matsonia. Mike completed the Advanced Nuclear Power course as a lieutenant, followed by more training in nuclear power in Schenectady, New York, in December 1959. Deborah Marie arrived prematurely at midnight in Yonkers, New York, as an early Christmas miracle present on December 22nd, 1959, weighing only 3 pounds, 10 ounces. The young Donola family was on holiday visit to visit Mike's parents in New York City. Deborah is pictured in the above right with her favorite doll, and on Grandpa Zimmerman's lap on the bottom right. Mike qualified as chief operator in the S-3G, a land-based prototype submarine nuclear propulsion plant, on May 23, 1960. Matthew Leonard arrived at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Hospital exactly 1 year to the day after his older sister on December 22nd, 1960. Weighing 7 pounds 9 ounces at 10:30 in the morning, Matt is pictured here in the above right, helping his mother by changing his own diaper. Proud Mike and most of his family are pictured in the bottom right. In February 1961, Mike was assigned for duty on the USS Thresher, SSN 593. The youngest child, Donna Edna, arrived at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Hospital on May 10th, 1962, weighing 7 pounds at 5:30 in the morning. As the baby of the family, Donna was less than a year old when the Thresher was lost. The picture on the bottom right is the last picture in the Denola family archives of my father, Mike, with all his children on Christmas Eve, 1962. Being assigned to the Thresher allowed Mike to spend more time at home with his growing family. The shakedown and testing cruises were shorter than those earlier in his career, allowing him more time for a vegetable garden and family dinners. Both Mike Jr. and I were taking on tours of the new submarine with our father. Throughout his short life, Mike possessed a zest for life, love, living, and family. His positive outlook on life and obvious spirit are frozen in time in these pictures. A life force that has made a difference in this world. On Wednesday, April 10th, 1963, I was on the playground at Rye Elementary School during recess in first grade, when a call went out for several children to come in early from recess. I didn't know why I was singled out in this special group. Something about trouble with my father's boat. I was home when the naval officers in formal white uniforms arrived in our yard on Cable Road to deliver the official news about the loss of the Thresher to my mother. The Denola family life changed. Mike, the oldest, Mike Jr., the oldest, became the man of the house at age 9. He sent this Easter card on behalf of the children. It reads, quote, "To Mother, this card in Easter lily is from Donna, Maddie, Debbie, Mark, and Mike. Signed, with love, Mike." This Associated Press photo was taken six months after the disaster. The Denola family had moved across the street into a cottage at 48 Cable Road in Rye, where my mother, now age 90, still lives and resides today. And life went on. 3 boys in custom-tailored Italian suits made by their Grandpa Nick, and everyone wearing their finest Easter hats. It takes a village to raise a child. A child does not grow up in a single home. 1960s Cable Road in Rye was a village with 70-plus kids. A child's paradise with woods, fields, ponds, beaches, coastline, and harbors to explore. Parents kept a watchful eye on all the members of the Cable Road gang. The gang's collective upbringing belonged to this village. Michael John Denola, a first-generation Italian-American, an immigration success story, a man of honor, courage, and commitment, a Cold War warrior, an American patriot, an American hero. a man who lived by the words of the greatest orator, humanist, freethinker, and most famous American you'll never heard of, Robert Greene Ingersoll. Quote, "Happiness is the only good. The place to be happy is here. The time to be happy is now. The way to be happy is to make others so." In conclusion, today I am happy and grateful for this opportunity to share this singular story about my father, one of the brave men of the Thresher, who has made a difference in the world. May God bless us all.
Thank you, Mr. Denola. That was a lovely speech, and I hope everybody took away a great message from that. Please rise for a moment of silence while the Pinkerton Junior ROTC will retire the colors, and please remain standing for taps performed by Anthony Torelli and Braden Scribner to honor all of our nation's fallen heroes. May we give special remembrance for Hampstead Middle School graduates, Captain Jonathan Grasbaugh and Private First Class Matthew Bartolino.
Color guard, halt. Right face. Post. Right face. Forward march. Halt. Forward out.
Mrs. Denola will now close out our assembly.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank our musicians for making this ceremony even more lovely than it was. Thank you, Mr. Fisher, all the musicians, Mr. Robbins, thank you very much. I'd like to also thank our students who made some speeches that gave the meaning of Memorial Day even more rich for us. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Wilson, for joining us today. Thank you. And I'd like to thank our special guests, Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Major. Would you please rise when I say your name, please? Technical Sergeant Brisson, Michael's dad. Chief of Electronics of Submarines, Tom Young. And Lieutenant Colonel Stedman. Thank you, Colonel Stedman. And a special thank you to my husband. Thank you, Mark. And the color guard. Thank you so much. These are our seniors. Thank you. I want to thank you all, students, my Hawks, my staff members, for giving such reverence and attention to the story of my husband's father. Sitting there for this long on those bleachers, I know is not easy, but you know that being a surviving member of someone who has passed in military service is also not easy. So I thank you for putting ourselves out there, listening to the story, remembering why Monday is a special day for our country, to gather with family, and to remember those that have been lost in war. So I thank you very much. I wish you all a wonderful long weekend.